vais et je viens entre tes reins. Je vais et je viens entre tes reins et je me retiens.
Je t'aime, oh oui je t'aime.
Moi non plus.
Oh mon amour, tu es la vague, moi l'île nue. Tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins. Tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins et je te rejoins. Je t'aime, oh oui je t'aime.
Moi non plus.
Oh mon amour,
Comme la vague irrésolue. Je vais et je viens entre tes reins. Je vais et je viens entre tes reins et je me retiens.
tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins. Tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins et je te rejoins. Je t'aime, oh oui je t'aime.
Moi non plus.
Oh mon amour,
L'amour physique est sans issue. Je vais et je viens entre tes reins. Je vais et je viens, je me retiens.
non, maintenant, viens.
Okay, how's it going, everybody? It's Larsen Live. It is the day after Valentine's Day. How are we all doing? Doing good? Great. Okay, so we opened up with Serge Gainsbourg's very minimal effort song, Je t'aime non plus, or whatever the hell it is. Let me just open up. Okay, Serge Gainsbourg featuring James Birkin, Je t'aime moi non plus. Official audio. Why'd I play that? Well, due to a series of misunderstandings about chanson. Yes, I'm of course an American, a rosebiff, by degrees once removed. So, due to certain news stories going on, I figured I should play a song that's vaguely, Nonces, if you will. I said to myself, Larsen, what should I play? Oh, I know. Isn't there that song, Thank Heaven for Little Girls, by that French guy, Serge Gainsbourg? I looked it up, and Thank Heaven for Little Girls was sung by Maurice Chevalier. Boing. Then I said to myself, isn't there some other song where he basically like molests his daughter like on the music video or something? So I just kind of stabbed blindly in the dark. I assumed that was it, and yeah, I played it. Was it? I'm not French, nor do I know much French pop music. So yeah, here we are. Perhaps I should have picked "Thank Heaven for Little Girls." At least that tells you exactly what the song is about. Okay, so sorry, my microphone just fell over. So let me rearrange things a bit. There we go. Yeah, so Tony Gilbert talking about the sewage plant in Virginia crapping out, literally and figuratively. It is the second highest sewage break in American history, so he can't go fishing this year. Well, yeah, that's obviously bad. Also, it's going to mess up people's, drinking water, and in general, it's going to mess up a lot of things. Yeah, Virginia's in the process of suing D.C. Water. It's their fault. Us, hone Frenchiness a bit. Tony Gilbert says France is fucked. You can't even get a DNA test there. It's illegal to break up too many families. LOL. Oh, we're all fucked. Believe me. We'll get to that, though, in the title story in a second. Alf Murray says, a Montenegrin Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber, boy, that's a series of words I never thought I would hear, says, I remember that Donkey Kong cartoon. Why was it so weirdly sexual? I'll shower you with coconut cream pies, Donkey Kong sang to Candy. Follower, it's French. Everything they do is weirdly sexual. Yeah, that is actually true. I mean, like Rayman, the video game, is some delightful French nonsense. Which says bad connection. Let me just check a little bit. Well, it sounds okay to me. Perhaps your connection is bad, sir. But yes, anyway, going back to Rayman, which is probably the most famous French video game series I can think of. I know some people will say Assassin's Creed or whatever, but no, it's Rayman. Yes, Rayman, despite being ostensibly a children's platformer series, the women are drawn in oddly sexual ways. It's like, boy, these environmental fairies are very voluptuous. Then I remembered, oh wait, the game's French. Actually, wasn't that Donkey Kong cartoon Canadian? Well, I mean, I guess it's French-Canadian. Yeah, but yeah, speaking of weird sex stuff, let's just get right to the title story, shall we? Boy, it's not great, but with the Epstein files and all, things are, a bit controversial. And that's in the absolute understatement of the century. It is astounding how many heads of state and big business financiers and all kinds of Hollywood people are involved in noncing. Going to PDF File Island, I say, is trying to not get censored. Yes, many people in the American government are involved in it. The last 3 Canadian prime ministers are involved in it. Hollywood people and J.P. Morgan. Many heads of state are there. I don't know. Personally, I don't understand how anybody could be sexually attracted to a child. But apparently, I guess that's like a requirement of government. Bondi, Florida attorney, in yes, why have you not indicted any of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? After all, you are, at least on paper, the #1 lawmaker in the United States. In person, I think lawgiver would be better than her. Lawgiver, the primordial Solon from the Planet of the Apes series, who made ape law. I mean, yeah, humans don't have rights, but at least the apes aren't molesting the little baby chimps and such. Yeah, Pam Bondi was a bit sad. Not indicted any of Dad Jones is over 5,000. The Nonces is smashing records. That's what we should be talking about. Yeah. Every so often, I'm reminded why I vote Republican, and this is a reason why. These are. Alpha Maria says the stream is starting for anyone else. It's just me. I mean, I'm going to try to close down as much crap as I can. Try to get things moving a little faster. Okay, meanwhile, looking at comments, Tony Gilbert says, yes, the fairies in Rayman are very oddly sexual. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I only played the first 2 Raymen, and the girls weren't super sexualized in those, but yeah, like in the 3rd and 4th one, from what I've seen, they just go and, full on like Moulin Rouge there. Alpha Riga says the Montenegrin YouTuber invented the phrase, it's Morbin time. Tony Gilbert says the French Canadians, that most Canadian cartoons or Deke was in Montreal. Most Canadian cartoons are also garbage, but that's neither here nor there. Then we start talking about the pedo stuff. Tony Gilbert says, I knew Tom Hanks was too nice. Yes. Also, what's great is that all those conspiracy theorists, the tinfoil hatters, turns out they were vindicated. I mean, I still don't believe adrenochrome does what they say it does, because that's not how chemistry works, but, they might think that's how it works. Okay, Robert Leonard says, vaguely pedo. Remember back in 1972, when Michel Foucault, Simone de Beauvoir, and Jean-Paul Sartre probably called to reduce the age of consent to like 12. Well, I didn't mean the song was vaguely pedo. I mean, I'm sorry, the song is vaguely pedophilic. The French Academia was explicitly pedophilic. But I meant the song was just vaguely pedophilic. Yeah, I mixed up one of Serge Gainsbourg's tune with Chevalier's Thank Heavens for Little Girls. I could have sworn there was a song where Serge Gainsbourg was basically like molesting his daughter in like a music video or something. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, Lemon Incest is the song I was thinking of. I remember reading somewhere that he did some song where he basically like molests his daughter, pantomime. And that was a song, so I was totally wrong. Again, as you can see, I know very little about chanson, which is sort of the French equivalent of American traditional pop. Also, Serge Gainsbourg, famous for being one of those guys who is extremely ugly and yet manages to bag just impossible amounts of high-level poon. Much like Giacomo Casanova and Samuel Pepys. So let's check out some comments. Okay. Alpha Mariga says, people make jokes about flat earthers being left out of the conspiracy theory. Left out, but didn't the CIA prop up flat earth to discredit conspiracy theories? I don't know if that's that. Back with what I was talking about. Yeah, this is why I've never really been able to vote Republican, because they'll be like, oh, I'm a conservative, but what exactly are they conserving? I mean, they're obviously not conserving the orifice integrity of children. They're not conserving the innocence of children. They're not conserving the environment. They're not conserving culture and community, and social pathways and tradition and history. It's just to me, all they want to conserve is their wallets. They want to conserve their bank accounts. They want to conserve the stock market. So that is why I don't vote Republican. I mean, in many ways, I am like small c conservative, but I'll be damned if I vote for these people. I don't know why this woman's talking about, the Dow or the NASDAQ. I mean, it's not your job. Unless you're under the impression that America is just a big economic zone, and absolutely she does think America is a big economic zone. Yeah, your children are being raped and murdered, but boy, have you seen that 401k? And she's like, oh, people are going to be yelling at me for the rest of my life. People should be yelling at you for the rest of your life, you cow. Can't immediately call to action because that is actually illegal for a radio broadcaster. Even when I was on the air in university doing college radio, I was told explicitly you can never call to action. But done here. Shooting. I mean, we could start shooting in Minecraft. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But at the very least, I think that we could, at the absolute very least, like, hound these people for the rest of their lives. Like, every interview with them should be just endlessly repeating the question, why do you allow children to be raped and murdered? Just imagine like a solid 3 hours of that. Just break them down psychologically, make them, weep in open hysterics in Minecraft, of course. Personally, I was also considering not paying my taxes in protest in SimCity, of course. And, if all else fails, just a nice, just throwing a brick to the face could also be good in River City Ransom or something. I don't know what video games involve brick throwing. Shinseki Evans says, I'm only a Republican because it's the lesser of two evils. I mean, the Republican administration now is allowing it to happen. I mean, I'm absolutely certain Democrats are involved as well, so I don't know, I think we're all kind of, it's a douche and a turd, as South Park would say. Alpha Marigi says, wouldn't being a pseudo-reactionary be too big a C for the GOP? I mean, I don't know if I would be considered a reactionary. Like, I support, freedom of speech and freedom of expression. I'm very much a, let artists do their thing. Yeah, I've been telling myself to do this for years. I really have to write down exactly what my political beliefs are. I've also been promising to do a second edition of my book, which I actually did just finish the draft of that. It has to go through editing and formatting. But yes, the second edition of the Oriental's Guide to Sex, Strength, and Satisfaction is in fact going to be coming out sometime this year. I guarantee it. Yes, and I will also be doing Kung Fails this year at some point. But, yeah, no, I don't know why, like, people haven't started shooting in video games, but, it would be a good thing to do in video games, of course. It's all around the world. But no, we have to distract ourselves with stupid crap like arguing about Super Bowl halftime shows, which this is literal bread and circuses. I could not possibly care less. I don't care what TPUSA does. I don't care what crappy halftime show they put on. Although I did like seeing that Twitter post about like 1950s halftime show. It was just like these women in leotards wearing reindeer outfits, like kind of awkwardly prancing around for a minute. Maybe we could go back to that. Alf Rodriguez says, a dinosaur convention held in the UK did a better job of holding people in the files accountable than any government on Earth. You have to explain what you're referring to. That is true. Then, big ups to the paleontologists for, keeping people in check. But, I will tell you, like, if I ever do encounter somebody who is accused of being on the Epstein list, I will not initiate violence, but I will literally hound them around, yelling at them about being a nonce and a, cannibal and a Satan worshiper and all those things together. And ideally, I would instigate them to attack me. And then I would break every limb in their body. In Minecraft, of course. Alf Rodriguez says, if you have allegations in the files, you can't go to DinoCon. If you're on the board of a paleontology organization that did kick people out, you can't go to DinoCon. I guess it's a start, but I think more could be done. Right. So yes, we still have the right for the time being to basically call our representatives and yell at them in a non-threatening way. So yeah, you should do that. Speaking of football, I should stop talking about. I did promise my wife I wouldn't spend the yelling about the Satan worshipping the government. Let's talk about college football for a bit. Breaking news from the CUSA Sentinel. I don't know what the hell that is. It's a 11-year college, football player. Apparently, news. I'm an idiot. I wouldn't be entirely surprised. Is allow me job application going poorly. People applying to jobs are literally using hashtag desperate to indicate that they are in fact desperate for work. They're putting pink banners on the word hashtag desperate on their LinkedIn profile. Dare I say, finding a job aviation. The wages just continue to get it in the shorts. The last time I was unemployed was about 3 years ago, but I can't imagine. I at least have some dignity. Can't imagine I would ever do this. I at various points in my life, but yeah. I don't know if this is gonna get you a job. I feel like this is gonna be one of those things that'll wear out its welcome pretty quick. Because if everybody's desperate, then by definition, nobody is desperate. I've seen HR recruiters say they don't like the air of desperation in a potential employee's eyes. Job. Personally, I would think that desperate you want employee that would work harder and, dare I say, for less money and take all the indignations. But of course, human resources departments are run entirely by dozy astro broads who treat job recruitment more like a dating app than anything actually involving one's job skills or merits. And yes, I have seen HR parties complaining about the some potential employees and basically okay, Alpha says I'm stutters. Yes, I'm sorry. He also asks, what's an astro broad? I refer to dozy astro broads running, HR departments. The women who run HR departments are essentially like high school mean girls who never got over, being the queen bee, and they basically take out their aggression on, job seekers. Actually, I shouldn't say they're the queen bee. The queen bees probably got married to, some card dealership owner at the age of 23. They're like the beta bitch, basically, not the alpha bitch. Which said, hand bonded when I even look at this. Stutter. Yeah, sometimes the connection's bad. I apologize. And in case you're thinking that the wages didn't get it in the shorts enough, let's talk more about how wages kind of get. So says the Wall Street Journal. Gen Zers and millennials are swimming in student debt. They may never own a house, and yet they splurge on probiotic juice and rotisserie chicken. Yeah, those rotisserie chickens are just putting us all in debt. Rotisserie chickens, of course, are pound for pound some of the cheapest protein sources you can get. But they're just too expensive. Hey, Wagey, I know you're massively in student debt with no job and you can never get a house, but have you ever considered not eating food? $8 for chicken that you can stretch out into 3 meals. Just avocado toast and those chickens. Those are luxuries. Perhaps you should go into the backyard and eat various worms and bugs and suck the dew off of leaves and grass, and you can afford a house one day. I never thought I'd have sympathy with the far left wingers, but yeah, I have a little bit of sympathy for them. How dare you? And then they for spending money or not. Okay, comments here. Alpha says I hate HR ladies too, but I heard the term astro. I think I just jump with that one correctly. Yeah, it's yeah, don't eat, Ouija. Just don't eat. Okay. The working man getting it in the shorts. The Epstein. See what they breathing, because they said some stupid. They had. Okay. A radical idea was voiced on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. It's time to strictly account for the basis of existence. According to Speaker Cooper, Water, soil, and oxygen should not be infinitely accessible. It is proposed to classify them as assets and put them on a global balance. So just to clarify, they want you to get charged for air. Now, the CEO of Nestle, of course, who looks more like a cyborg than any human being I've ever seen, literally said he thinks that water should not be a human right. This person also seems to be under the should not be a human right. So they tell the wages to, not eat food and just have like air and naps for dinner, but then they're going to charge you for that too. Many people on the World Economic Forum, Davos people, they're also, Nonces almost. So, yeah, I think we should get on and start killing the game, of course. Alfreda says the CCP is complicit in the housing crisis. Yeah, it's like comments. I am sympathetic with the idea of, simulating upon these people. I mean, decent for myself, but pretty soon I won't be able to afford air, apparently. Obviously we all want to get money, we all want to be rich, but never thought we'd, have air being charged. But, what the hell can I do? I mean, there's a few things we could do, but I don't know. Now, he says, dream sorry. The time stream's pretty crappy, and I think stream actually trying to update, but I didn't have to do the update. So, just kind of wait it out, because I only have a few more things to say. Let's just kind of wrap things up here. In that, let's talk a bit about AI being absolutely terrible. AI enters the operating room and reports a rise of misidentified body parts and botched surgeries. Yes, the FDA has received unconfirmed reports of at least 100 malfunctions and adverse events after AI was added to a medical device to treat chronic sinusitis. In one case, a surgeon mistakenly punctured the base of a patient's skull, thanks to AI. I don't know why anybody would bring AI into an operating room. It's literally like idiocracy, where you just have a button that you plug things into and they just diagnose you that. I always thought that maybe robot surgeons would be good, but I truly do not know. I have a Pokemon battle between ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Gemini won 6-0. I mean, this is basically what AI should be used for, like making little cartoons and stuff. And actually, take that back. Screw AI. AI sucks. I mean, I do very occasionally use AI just to come up with some homework assignment if I don't feel like actually coming up with one. But yeah, this is hot garbage. And also, speaking of AI, there's apparently a new AI called Seedance. Seedance is making footage of actors that look almost as good as the real thing. Something went viral. It is basically Seedance 2.0, and they made a scene from Seinfeld in which George Costanza, super kicks Jerry Seinfeld through the front door of his house. I mean, I would watch that episode. I'm not I don't know why. Oh, not only did he put him through the door, he put him through a brick wall too. Why was there a brick wall behind Jerry's apartment door? I don't know. I mean, granted, we all know that the hallway of Seinfeld's apartment doesn't make any sense. But I'm pretty sure that even at its worst, geometry bending way, it doesn't have a brick wall behind it. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Jason Alexander couldn't do that. I mean, he actually could dance pretty well. I'm sure he's more flexible than any. Yeah, but AI garbage. That does you can say your last pieces now. It's a short stream, and I apologize for the stuttering. Okay, that's a whole lot of nothing. So for Larsen Halleck, this has been Larsen Halleck. All of you have a good day.